Hi, this is part 2 of the orange tutorial. In part 1 we made the orange, and in this video we are going to make a small animation of it. So let's start by opening our previously saved blend file. Zoom out a little bit. We need 2 of these oranges. So select the smaller oranges and the bigger orange, and then Shift D to make a duplicate, and then rotate it along the z-axis a bit. Let's position it to a nicer position. Move the frame a little bit, maybe zoom out. So let's pull the timeline a little bit so that we can see the keyframes properly. So let's show you how animation works. So at 1, let's set this orange scaling at 0. Press I to set a keyframe on this scaling, and then maybe at 30 set the scaling again at 1, and hit I again. So if you now go from this frame to this frame, the scaling is gonna go from 0 at 1 and then up to 1 at 30. You can move these keyframes just like any other objects. You can also set keyframes by pressing I and then select the thing you want to set the keyframe at. Let's go back. For this orange, I want it to scale from small to big and at the same time rotate. Press N to see the numbers. I want this to be the end frame, so let's go to frame number 30 and then press I on the location, rotation and scaling. Let's do the same for the other orange. So end frame ta fix kora hoye geche. Now we can go to frame 1 and set the rotation of both the oranges to a position where they are facing each other. Select our first orange again and set the rotations to 270, 0, 0 for X, Y, Z axes respectively. Also move the oranges to the origin and then bring the scaling to 0, 0, 0. Press I on scaling, rotation and location to set the keyframes. Do the same for the other orange. Location at the origin, rotation should be 90, 0, 0 and scaling 0. Press I on the scale, rotation and location and then play it to see how it looks. Now I want the scaling to have a cartoonish effect, so it goes from small to big and then slightly small again. So let's set the scaling at frame 20 to 1.2 at each of the axes. Press I, and then maybe at 23 it should go back to normal. Let's see. Do the same for the other orange at 20. So then 1.2, 1.2, 1.2, I, and then at 23, get them back to 1, I. Let's see. Let's play the animation. Oh, okay, wait. Sorry, we should start end the animation maybe at 50, so tap 50 here and then it should play up to this. I guess play it. This kind of works. At this point they're kind of overlapping each other. We don't want that, so let's fix those. Like at this point maybe এটা একটা দিকে মুভ করে আনি, set I and এটা ঠিক আছে, এটা একটা দিকে মুভ করি I, and then এখানে অনেক ঢুকে যেতেছে, maybe এটা এখানে I, and then এটা এখানে I, স্টিল ঢুকে যেতেছে। Let's get them further apart. Just keep experimenting till it looks okay. Also, I want the rotation of the second orange to end a bit later, so move this a bit over here, and then we can set another like I. So let's see. Yeah, cholbe. This is kind of a mess. You can maybe try to make it better. We want a text here, so press shift A to, and then text, to add a text. Is the text. To edit the text, press tab and then just backspace and write something like Kamala. Tap to go to object mode, scale this a bit, rotate it along z-axis 90 degrees, move it down to a nicer position. To give it some thickness, go to the object data properties and then under geometry increase the extrude to a suitable value, maybe increase the offset a little bit, and then increase the depth for bevel to get rid of those edges, maybe decrease the resolution. Now let's give the text some color. Add a new material and set the color to an orange. Now I want the text to have a similar kind of animation like the orange, so select the text and then go to a frame where we want to start our animation. Bring the text down a bit and then set the location by pressing I. Choose a frame for the end of the text animation. Bring the Kamala back up again and then I on location to set the keyframe. We want the text to have a scaling animation as well, so go back to the beginning of the text animation and then set the scales to 0, and then press I to set the keyframe. Go to the end of the animation and then set the scale big again. Okay, press I and then at maybe 43 I. So let's see. Okay, so it works. Let's move the camera during the animation as well. So select the camera. The animation of the camera should stop at 35. So press I on the location and rotation, and then at 5 let's set the camera at somewhere here. Still should look good. Okay, press I and I on that again. Let's see. Okay, so that's our animation. So to render this, go to here. We can use the render engine at Eevee or Cycles, it's your wish. Set the sampling at 64, it's okay. Go to output properties and then under outputs set where you want to save the video. So click this and press wherever you want to set the video. Name it, accept, and then under file format we need a video file format, so press this. And then I don't know what this does, you can search it in some good Blender guru video. Let's just say to this, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so to render this out, press render and then render animation. So wait for it, it's gonna take a while depending on what kind of PC you have. It's gonna render frame by frame. এখানে frame গুলো লেখা থাকবে. Look, this is at frame 3. It's gonna stop when it's at frame 50, and then you can go to the place where you save the file and watch the video. Okay, so that's our animation. To add sound, you can always open it in a video editing software, download some sound from the internet and then add it, and then this is the result. If you want to learn more about this, there are many beautiful tutorials out there. I'm going to give you some of the links. Okay, bye.